Hi there, my name's Joel. I recently quit my job of 21 years and moved to Lisbon, Portugal. Even though I did a ton of research before moving here, things are completely different. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the surprising things I've found so far. I'm not sure why this really surprised me much because Lisbon is such a beautiful city and so many people want to come and visit, but there are so many tourists. At times during the summer when we first arrived, I would say some streets were like you were at an amusement park. And I found that just so fascinating. And now that we're coming into the winter months, it's definitely died down, but there's still a ton of tourists that visit the city. Okay, next up is walking. I am just shocked how it's become just part of my everyday life. Back in the United States, we drove everywhere. So walking now has become one of those things that I just do every day. There has been times where I've walked 10 miles in one day. It's normal for me to go to different stores that it just, everywhere is walk. I mean, having a car in the city is just not feasible. Parking, and in some cases when we do need to take an Uber somewhere, it takes almost as long to take the Uber as it does to walk. Okay, here's a big one for me, the weather. I came from San Diego, which arguably probably has some of the best weather in all of the United States. And Portugal is known to have great weather. However, I have found that the weather here, even though it's a beautiful day today, the weather here as we get into winter is slightly colder than I'm used to in Southern California. I still am trying to learn the Celsius and the degrees back and forth, so I still look at the degrees and it'll say it's like 60 degrees, but it feels a lot colder here than it does back in San Diego. Also, one of the things I noticed, it rains a lot more here than it does in Southern California. And I recently found a map that overlays Europe over the United States with the exact same longitude and latitude lines. I noticed that Portugal is more Northern California than in Southern California. So that might be some of the reasons why, even though on a lot of the forums they'll say the weather is just like Southern California, I found it to be slightly different, but it's still really good. And for Europe, it's some of the best weather in all of Europe. I think this is a common one in all of Europe. People tend to kind of slow down, take their time to do certain things. Even though that could be frustrating if you want to get stuff done, it's also kind of a cool thing that is new to me because in the US, even in Southern California where I came from, it's considered laid back, but I would say Portugal and Lisbon is a very laid back city, and people just will go to a park, hang out, and just take more time that I just never have seen in the United States. One thing that I found surprising was the vast amount of cobblestone that is used throughout the whole city of Lisbon and all of Portugal, in fact. You'll find it on all the sidewalks and roads, and I'm surprised because you would think so much of this would be or has been paved over, but it's very little. It's surprising. So much is just, still cobblestone. One interesting fact that I found out is that cobblestone is easy to repair. So if you have like a water line break underneath the cobblestone, they can just pull out the cobblestones and dig it up and repair it real quickly and then put the cobblestone right back. and it's done. Where if it's asphalt or concrete, they have to dig it out, re-pour it. I mean, it's a bigger job. I found that cobblestone makes the city quite beautiful. Many of the older cities that have cobblestone, it really gives you an awesome feel. Here's one thing that surprised me is our shopping habits. We go to the grocery store now multiple times a week, where I think in the US you go maybe, I don't know, once a week, maybe twice, but we go maybe every couple of days now. I find it just such an interesting difference because in the US you tend to go to one or two stores and you can get everything you need. Here, what I've noticed, at least where we live in the grocery stores that are around us, I have to go to multiple different stores to get certain items. And it's not uncommon that I go one day and the item's out, and then I go the next day and they'll have the item. So I find it quite different. Our shopping habits have really drastically changed, and I think it's good. I go to the grocery store probably 4 times a week. Oh, the other thing is I have to carry it. We don't have a car, right? So I have to carry the bags home. So it's not like I'm going to load up the car with 5 or 6 bags. Now I just take, I go and get 1 or 2 bags and walk up the hill to our house. I found that very interesting. Our shopping habits, specifically with groceries, has drastically changed. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you for making it this far in the video. I really appreciate it. If you could subscribe or leave me a comment, I'd love to hear what you think. Maybe you've been in similar circumstances. If you've moved or you're thinking about moving, what are some of the things that might surprise you or surprise you now? So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.